Welcome back to my channel. So today is, as you've seen from the thumbnail, it's the TT RS Automotive Passion Diffuser. So look at this. This is stunning. So this is the facelift TT RS Diffuser, carbon, made by Automotive Passion in Scotland. And this also fits on the facelift TTS as well. And if you have anything pre-2019, they do an alternative version for obviously the pre-facelift versions as well on a TTS and a TT RS. So I'm going to show you how this is going to be replaced with the standard TT RS diffuser, which is pretty naff, to be honest, just that gloss black one with some fake grills on the side. So let's go outside and let's show you how I can remove the original RS diffuser and replace it with this absolute gorgeous specimen. See you soon. Right, so we're outside now. This is the standard TT RS facelift diffuser. Now, these bits here are really naff, just some plastic kind of, looks like vents, but they're not vents at all. And this honeycomb under here is a really crap addition, to be honest. And I've stuck the 5mm white pinstripes on there because I just wanted to emphasise the fins a little bit more. The fins are completely unrecognisable a lot of the time without the pinstripes, and they kind of disappear, especially on the dark tarmac and the roads. So yeah, and it makes the car look so high without the pinstripes, because then it's just black from literally the bottom of the bumper all the way to the floor, and I just felt that looks pretty naff. So I have got the AP diffuser ready to go on. Beautiful carbon, absolutely stunning, made from Automotive Passion in Scotland. So if you're not aware already, I'm an official retailer of Automotive Passion. So if you need a part from an Automotive Passion catalogue that fits an Audi, a Porsche, a Lamborghini, they do various different Audis. I think Audi is the main range they do. But if you want a price on any car which has an Automotive Passion part made for it, send me an email to this address, r44ppy@gmail.com, and I'll come back to you with a price, very competitive price, and I'll sort you out with a good deal. Right, it's pretty simple really. There's a hole, only one screw hole on either side here, just where the exhaust is here, just underneath, one hole. The rest of them is just clips all the way along, and just be careful, but all the way along the top there is just these slots that go into gaps. So what we need to do is just find those two holes first of all and take those screws out. I think that's pretty much the only screws, and there they are here underneath. So two screws either side. Let's get those two out. Okay, T25. All right, so I think all we need now to do is just be pulling it away. So I think I've got some trim tools. I think one of these will be able to help me just leverage it away from some of the clips, and let's just start yanking. Right, so all along around the bottom, all the way down here, you have various different clips. So you've just got to loosen them and a shed load of stones come out. You're probably carrying about 5 kilos in stone weight. All loads of bits of gravel and stone. So I'm just working my way through now, all these clips. I've released a couple already. I've just got to get them all released, and then you've got to be quite brutal apparently in pulling them away. Don't be scared. Oh God, so much gravel coming out of this. There we go. Hopefully if I can get all the bottom ones out, then I've just got to work on the top ones. They do say you've got to take the bumper off, but I just think that's a bit extreme for this job. As long as you can get under it, it should be okay. If you've got a big head, then maybe not. Right, I've got all the clips across the bottom and the side all released. Quite easy just to manipulate and pull them out of the recess. So it's the clips around here. You've got to be quite brutal and just got to pull them out. So I've been going to the gym recently, so hopefully the new muscles will be able to pull these out without breaking it, of course. Right, let's see how we get on. Right, so I'm underneath the car. I'm behind the bumper here with the camera. I'm still sticking up the camera here. It's these clips here, so these have got to be pulled out, and there's various ones all along. So it looks very much like it's one of those. Actually, to be honest, they are those types of clips. So they've got like a little, just a slightly raised, thicker bit at the top here. So I think it's just about pulling them out just over that recess, just stretching the plastic, whatever it's in really. So you've just got to, as they say, give it a bit of force. Oh my God, I hate doing stuff like this to my car. Right. So I've just pulled the first piece out. Have a look at this. There's that clip that goes in, so that's probably all those clips are all the way along. So they are quite a difficult one, but you just got to pull them hard and they'll come out. Wish me luck. Sounds like something's breaking, but they're not. It's just the clips coming out. Just got to take it slow, don't rush. Sorted. That was actually not bad at all. God, I was having nightmares about that, the way people were saying it's so difficult to get off. 2 screws and just pull it. Good chance now just to clean all round the exhaust tips because they are pretty filthy under here. Give it a good clean, check that everything's looking like in good order, and then prep it, ready for the new one to go back in. Now that's all cleaned up, it's time to get this big boy on. So it seems very likely I've just got to push these clips into the recesses. That just seems like it's a push in, and the ones underneath these little slots here, yeah, just got to push the bits underneath into these little recesses as well, like little clips, and then just 2 screws at the end. I mean, it sounds simple. Anyone who's done jobs like this knows it never goes straight forward. So fingers crossed, Automotive Passion have built this exactly to size. So I think I'll get the ones in the recess first, at the top. The thing with carbon fibre is you don't want to break it because it can crack. Okay, nothing's gone in as yet. Okay, this is going to need some force. As usual, nothing goes to plan. I don't want to bang too hard, that's the problem. Right, so I'm underneath the car, and these clips here just cannot get them far enough to just clip in. Oh, they just won't go far enough. It's never simple, is it? AP, you need to make these 1 mil longer that way. They just don't go in. Okay, so at the moment I have it fitted with these 2 T25s at the end, and then all these clips bar one, it's just not in. I've only been able to get that one clip in here. That one I just can't get in. That one I can't get in. There's just not enough flex. This seems to be too short, it needs to be longer. And it seems to be the same pattern on all clips bar one, which I had to shave down a little bit of the plastic on the under part of this diffuser, not the actual diffuser but the part underneath, and just went in, but none of the other clips are matching up, unfortunately. Okay, so it's fitted. To be honest, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for removing the existing one. That was pretty simple, to be honest, quite straightforward. And that was the part I was actually worried about more than ever. But fitting the AP diffuser is a pain in the... Honest to God, for some reason, it's just not clipping in. All the little clips going all the way around here, they just don't seem long enough to go into the slots to then just, because it's kind of like the slots this big, they've got like a little raised part, and you just need to push that in so it locks in like that. And for some reason, none of them, not one single one, would go far enough to connect through that hole. I had my hand under, I can feel the back of them through with my hand under here, but it just will not clip in. I was pushing and pushing. I had both sides, I had the inside, I had the outside, and I was pushing as hard as possible, just couldn't get them in. Underneath, the clips underneath as well, on the bottom of the diffuser under here, they don't seem to be long enough either to then connect to the clips underneath. It just seems the whole thing fits, but the clips and the slots up here that go in, sorry, the clips that go into the slots, they're not long enough, and the little hoops underneath that's supposed to connect underneath, they don't seem long enough either. If they were 2 mil either side, 2mm longer this side and 2mm kind of longer that side, I reckon it would fit like a glove. I have no idea. I've sent them a message to ask them what am I doing wrong, and I'm waiting to hear back, obviously. But at this moment in time, it is solid. The 2 bolts on either side are keeping it in. I have one clip, only one clip underneath that's holding it from underneath, but everything else seems to be held in place, but I just need to pop them all in. I don't think any air can get in it to rip it off the back, because it has an internal shell from the behind the exhaust. But I don't know, that was a pain in the ass. I thought it was going to be like an hour's job off on whatever, but I've been here for now 3.5 hours. Absolute jokes. But I'm going to fiddle around with it. I'm going to hopefully get it to make it to fit better, but it does look great though. Right, it's the following day. I slept on it for a bit, had a shave, shaved my head, and then thought about, I'm not going to get it any better. I don't think I'm going to get it any better. So what I'm going to do, and I thought about this for quite a while, I'm going to drill very small holes underneath, and I'm going to put one of these self-tappers through the carbon and then into the actual tray that it's supposed to clip into. I just cannot get the clips to line up at all. So I'm going to use one of these self-tappers. I'm going to, and first of all, drill a big hole through the, I say big hole, this one is probably, I don't know, about 3 or 4 mil through the carbon. And then I'm going to put a pilot drill, which is probably about 1.5 mil through the plastic, which is underneath. And then the screw will go straight through the carbon. It won't actually be tying in, drilling into the carbon. It will just go through the carbon, and then it will grab hold right at the end of the tiny little hole, the pilot hole that I'm going to drill, and then that's going to pull, and then I'm just going to tighten it to, not too tight, you don't want to crack the carbon, you just want to tighten it enough where it's just going to hold it firm and it's not going to be moving whatsoever. Even though it's got 2 screws on either side at the moment, which are the main fixing bolts for this diffuser, just the slots here all the way across, the clip is just not going far enough in for it to jam in. It's too short. They're just too short. So they line up okay, but they just don't go any further in. They're just to the max and it's not gripping it. And I can get my hand under and behind and I can feel where it's coming through the hole. So it's not about like, oh, you must take the bumper off, because it makes no difference. I've still got my hand there, I can feel it, I'm pushing it, I'm pushing the diffuser as hard as possible against the bumper, and I can feel it coming through, but it just, the raised part of the clip, like that high part, is just not gotten, it just can't go any further. And I don't know whether it's the gap that it's going into is too small, but I got a feeling it's more about the actual clip itself. It's just not long enough, because by the time I've pushed it as far as possible, it's flush. It's not going any further in. So that little like high raised bit there, all it needs to do is just go kind of like clip in, and then that high raised bit will then not come back out. And the problem is I'm not going far enough in, so I'm defeated basically. I just cannot do it. I have used all my force possible from behind, push it, not happening. So I've got that lined up. Now I'm just going to put the self-tappers in. Okay, so this is one I've just done. So I've drilled through the carbon, and then I've gone through into the plastic underneath, and it's just gone through that black piece of plastic there. You might just be able to see it. So it's drilled into that bracket there, and that's solid. So I'm going to do that for the other side over here. Right, I think that's the best I'm going to get it. It's not coming off anytime soon, so it's pretty solid now on the car. Just need it to just go slightly more in on the edges because they're just not clipping in, but I can't think of anything else to do now. It is just doesn't seem, they don't seem long enough. That's it. I don't know, it doesn't matter about taking the bumper off or not. I have pushed and I have pushed. Both sides. Cannot at all get it any closer to the car for those clips to go in. I just cannot do it. And I'm not whacking it because I am not cracking this. But I think that's the best I'm going to get it. Anyway, I think it looks the nuts. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Lots more coming up. I've got a few more bits and pieces we'll be doing to the RS. Quite a few pieces really over the next months and years. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, please subscribe, please comment. Anyone who's got one of these, anyone who's fitted it themselves and had the same trouble and they have a fix or they have a solution, please put something in the comments and let me know. And I'll leave it there. Thanks very much. Over and out.